Welcome back to a very stunning piece of Britain, and a car that doesn't technically exist. But we'll talk about that later. Because today we're taking a look at the 2010 Jaguar C-X75, boasting over 800 brake horsepower from stock, 738 foot-pounds of torque, while weighing a whopping 3,750 pounds. We're not going to talk about why there's trees on the road, okay? I've got to say though, this thing does look very nice indeed, especially to the front, which for a car from 2010, it does look very modern. I do like that indeed. Going to the side, it is beautifully and nice and sleek, and then going to the back, it actually does look pretty cool as well, and that rear wing is also active aero. Going to the inside, we've not got much in here because it is technically just a nice high-performance hypercar, and we all know high-performance hypercars don't have much in, but we do have some rather nice digital dials. And now let's go ahead and take a listen to this thing. So here we are now over in the upgrade shop. We're going to jump straight over to conversion, and I would say engine swaps, but apparently there is no engine swap for this thing, but you can go ahead and drivetrain swap it should you wish to. You can go from all-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive. I don't know why you would, but you can. By the way, this thing's stock in this game comes with a 1.6 litre, but in the real world, these things can have up to a 5 litre V8. Going over to aero and appearance, sadly we've got nothing for the front bumper aside from just regular Forza aero, and then going to the back, that is pretty much the same as well with the classic Forza rear wing. Oh, and because I didn't mention, if you want one of these for yourselves, you can get it straight from the Autoshow. They're also quite easy to get because I have 4 of them. In the meantime though, our wonderful mechanic Mac has been very busy putting together a brand new tune for us. Apparently it's called No Grip, which, well, for a race tune, that's not really what you want, but let's go ahead and bring up the share code of that really quickly. There it is. Feel free to go ahead and grab that for yourself. We're going to go ahead, download and install, and see if it can actually turn. I hope it does. So with these upgrades, not much has changed. We're running the exact same 890 brake horsepower, but we are a little heavier at 3,762 pounds. So, with everything, all the tunes applied, let's go ahead now and take a look at the paints. Sadly, we've got nothing in advance, and then going to manufacturer colours, we've got ourselves a whopping 1. Can't lie, I was honestly hoping for an extra colour for this, but oh well. Now, I absolutely do love the look of the CX75. I've got to say, for its time, it was a beautiful looking car, and I do have to say, it does hold up very well now. However, I don't think I'll ever get a chance to see one of these on the roads unless I get extremely lucky, and I'll talk about, well, why that is in just a few moments' time. In the meantime, though, let's jump into the race and see if this thing goes just as well as it looks. And away we go. Starting out in 8th, we're against a whole bunch of other various assorted vehicles. Let's go ahead and take this thing and see if we can win. Hopefully we can, but then again, that tune name did say No Grip, so I guess we're about to find out if we can actually win or not. Oh, hey, look, there's John. Hi, John. I know you're watching. Right, up here we normally make up some spaces. We're in 5th at the moment. Can we go up to 3rd maybe? No, but we can get ourselves up to 4th. Now, I did say if you found one of these, you'd be very lucky indeed, and that's partially down to just how many were made, or in this case, how many weren't, because this thing was originally meant to be a full production car with a run of 250. However, only 7 remain, 5 of which had 5 litre supercharged V8s, and 2 were hybrid. And I'm assuming the one we have here with a 1.6 litre is based off the hybrid version. Oh, and if you wanted to find one, by the way, you better have some deep pockets, because only one of them was for sale, and it was for sale for a whopping £2.5 million, which is also this in US dollar. In the meantime though, 95% through the race, and I think this is going to be one of the very rare times that a build from Mac hasn't finished in 1st place. We are still on the podium though, with a time of 1 minute 53 and a 3rd place. Whoops. Well, that wasn't quite the race finish we were looking for, but in the meantime, we'll go from racing cars to voting for them, and it's a very good backstage vote this week, because we do have the 2010 Nissan Siru and the Nissan Z Nismo from 2024, but on the other hand, we also have 2 brilliant Subarus, the Legacy RS and the Subaru BRZ from 2022. Now, this is going to be a tricky one for me this week, because I do love the Subaru to bits. It's a brilliant car, and you can do a stupid amount of things to it, but you've also got Subaru, and I am a Subaru fanatic, so for that reason and that reason alone, it's getting my vote. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments. And now we go from voting for cars straight back to racing them. In this case, drag racing them, because Mac has another brand new tune out for us. Let's go ahead and very quickly bring up the share code. There it is. Feel free to go ahead and grab that for yourself. We're going to go ahead, download and install, and see what we can do with it. So with these upgrades, we're now a lot lighter than before, at just a shade over 3,015 pounds in weight, and this thing has got nearly 1,300 brake horsepower just inside the top of, well, just inside S2 really. Good stats. Terrible attempt at words. Right, here we are now over at the back of the festival. Let's go ahead and see, do we get a wheelie check out of this thing? Sort of, kinda. Do we really get one? I mean, it kicks its front tyres up for a split second. Does that count? Okay, so here we are now over at the edge of the drag strip. Let's go ahead, get ourselves onto launch control. Let's go ahead and see in 3, 2, 1, away we go with the Jaguar C-X75. A lot of power, a lot of weight, and a very, very interesting history of this vehicle indeed. But let's go ahead and see at what speed do we get through the cameras. At 198.32 through we go, and off the end of the runway rather at 200 and something, and still no brakes. And another terrible attempt at words from me. However, now it's our turn to go ahead and have a little bit of fun with this, basically just a classic museum piece at this point. Let's go ahead and throw in some power and see what we can do for a little bit of a top speed build. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and make the front tyres a little bit wider, and we're also going to go ahead and make the back wider, up to 345 at the back. That is insane. And because we can, we're making this thing lighter. I can't lie, this thing with black rims actually kind of looks evil, and the stats aren't bad either. However, now the fun begins, because I've got to try and tune 1,300 brake horsepower into a 7-speed gearbox. Oh boy. And while we're at it, here is this week's Forza shop. We've got ourselves the Audi RS7, we've got Backstage Pass, the Doodle Summer Skirt, we also have the Porsche Cayenne Turbo, and the Doodle Pattern Cap. And while we're at it, we've also got ourselves the regular Horizon Super Wheel Spin, and the regular Horizon Wheel Spin as well. And now, out to the motorway. And as we make our way over to the motorway, it is time to play How Close Can We Get to the Motorway Great? And today, where are we? We are miles away from it. And to think a few videos ago, we had it spot on. Anyway, here and now over the edge of the motorway, let's get ourselves onto launch control, and away we go. Let's go ahead and see what this nice little piece of automotive history can do. And of course, there is the active aero that I was talking about at the start of this video, finally in full effect. And I've got to say, it is very, very interesting to look up the history of this thing, because yes, there are only 7 examples really available, but a lot of places are now only saying that there's only 4. So is it 4? Is it 7? Who knows? In the meantime, out of the speed zone we go at 244.12 miles an hour, downhill and speed camera still to go. And another fun fact about the CX75, apparently one of these is currently road legal in the UK, which is chassis and number 7 from the old stunt cars, and I believe it was actually brought to be road legal by Ian Callum, which was apparently the designer of this very car. In the meantime, we've been muffling long enough that the speed camera is just there, so through we go, 250.46, going downhill now, 253, 254, 255. Can we get any quicker? Sadly not. 255 is the top speed of this thing. Let's see, there's the motorway sign. On the brakes we go. Can we get stopped in a decent length of time? And honestly, yeah, we can. That was even better than last week. And now time to make this car do something it definitely wasn't built for. Yep, you guessed it, we're about to take what is basically a priceless supercar drifting. So let's go ahead, chuck this thing in, see what we can do, and hopefully we don't get too high of a bill. Right, out the speed zone, or rather drift zone, at 40,913 points on run number 1. And only a couple of million pounds in damages. And now time for run number 2, at 40.9 thousand is the score to beat. Can we do it? I don't know. Let's, I guess, let's go ahead and find out. Shall we go ahead and chuck this thing around here? And out we go at 38,287. Which again, for a car like this, is actually really good. Well, I 100% didn't think I'd be saying this, but apparently if you want a good drift car, you can go with a very obscure supercar concept car from the early 2010s. But that is this video on the Jaguar CX75. I've got to say, it's a very, very cool car with a very interesting name that kind of reminds me a lot of any iPhone from the past 10 years. And you don't need a DLC to get it, because you can get it straight from the Autoshow. But should you get one? I'd say go on, go for it. It's not exactly the speediest thing on the planet when it comes to racing, and it's also not the greatest for drag racing, but if you want something that drifts apparently, and also looks very good at car shows, then this is the car for you. In the meantime though, thank you very much for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff, and I'll go ahead and see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, Tech out. See ya! We need more cool looking cars again.